a.m. That's good morning panel time. For me, it's morning. It's the beginning of what used to be called a work week, also known as Monday in the Western world. Hope you're having a happy one, or whatever kind you want to be having. Maybe you're a sadomasochist and want to wake up to a miserable week, in which case, I wish you joy. All right, I think the big headline is the Trump attempt, which I'm still not that interested in getting into. And there's some flooding in Europe. And do you have any tweets? Oh my God. Okay, I do have a tweet. Actually, I'm going to do this other tweet first on immigration. 10 to 12 million people entered the country in the last 4 years. Now, I haven't fact-checked this, but this guy's pretty reliable. It's Dr. Henry Rose. More people than the population of 34 states and the largest migration of people in human history. That I'm not sure about, but even if that's not the case. He says to dislike this or even to question whether or not this is a good thing is racist, apparently. Well, it is, because everything is, but I don't know why. Maybe I can figure it out. The temptation, the most obvious, like the simplest explanation to me would be something like cultural in-group, out-group, wanting to keep cultural cohesion, and or possibly xenophobia, which could be similar related, tribalism. More than race, more than skin color. Like, it just seems like people want their culture to stay intact. Or fear of the other in the sense of people from a foreign country. Why the other is assumed to be black-skinned. Like, because they see a chart of disparities and some judges sentence black people a certain way. Their default, their knee-jerk assumption is brown skin, fear of other, brown skin, instead of xenophobia or cultural preference. Everything's race. Like, racism is the go-to explanation for everything. Just like in Christianity, it's the devil or a demon. It just seems superstitious more than empirical. All right, this next video. Hey, Ladybug, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. And yes, thank you, you too. This next video absolutely stunned me. I know very little about Tim Walz. I know next to nothing about his wife. This is a TikTok, so I don't even know if this is his wife. I'm presuming it's accurate. Oh my God, I think we found us a Karen. I think we found us a super Karen. An ultra Karen. A mega Karen. A Karen deluxe. This is my biggest fear. If you want to make a horror movie to scare Jeff, or if you want to use something in a video to paint a picture of a dystopian future that would finally black pill and disturb me, look no further. I'm about to show it to you. This is supposedly Tim Walz's wife. Let's see what she has to say. All right, lady. Let's start over.
Bye-bye, Donald Trump. We are turning the page. 52 days and we are turning the page. 52 days and it is bye-bye, Donald Trump.
Okay, does she seem crazy, lady, to you? Oh, wow, Ladybug. Okay, hang on. Gotta get the music going. Cough. Oh, thank you. That will buy a lot of coffee. You could get one of those big giant containers. Oh my God, I I'm still touched by. I'm still not used to all the. That is her, Chuck. All right. Well, coffee's on Ladybug this morning. Thank you so much, and good to see you. Glad you're here. That's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy lady, right? Crazy white lady. Crazy Karen. You know how women are like they see a man with strong emotion or active aggression, and they that's scary to them. Like, oh my God, toxic masculinity. This is the female version of that for me. Like, I don't know how any male, the hair is not standing up on the back of his arm and probably everywhere else in the body from seeing that video. That is the last person on earth I want anywhere near the levers of power. That seems like hysteria. There's not a, like, I can't find any kind of like rational foothold in all of that to even begin a conversation. Oh, is she is she Canadian? Let's see. Oh, CA. Yeah. That's not California. California money. Hey, Zat. Um, and AAA. Good to see you. And Miss Thing. I'm just gonna call you Miss Thing. Miss the Fring. Um, that right there, that sealed my vote. Like, that and the latest attempt on Trump keeps, like, the more they try it, like, the more of a hero figure he becomes. Hey, Nova. Yeah, I was actually. I've been up for a few hours. My roommate is still asleep, so I kind of wanted to wait till a reasonable time. Um, I was gonna come back last night, and I ended up watching a lot of TV. We binge watched, and it was good. It felt so healthy to sit there for hours and just catch up on TV. And then by that time, it was late for me, and so I'm giving an early stream to kind of make up for it, I guess. Oh, cool, Brian. You think y'all are so suspicious. It's just like in the Panelverse. What's a production? What's authentic? What's organic? What's not? You think they planted somebody in the bushes? That crazy guy? If I would have picked somebody more predictable than him. Um, Again, for me, it's Occam's razor until I have a reason to start complicating it. Yeah, like that's. She looks like if somebody was writing a movie and they needed some like deranged supervillain, they could write a part like that and cast somebody. But she's real. That's natural. She's a real life. You don't even have to create her. Yeah, I'm gonna need like a support group just for living under her for 4 years, if that's what wins. Oh, Katrina and the Waves. I remember them. 1985, at least here in the States, because we got a little later than the UK. And in fact, they were a one-hit wonder. I bought that cassette because I love that song. Like, who would? Like, what human would not love Walking on Sunshine? And that was the only good song on the entire tape. The whole rest of the tape, none of the songs sounded like that. I was so in fact, I've probably never been more disappointed. That was my first big disillusionment in music collecting. That the tape is not always going to live up to the one radio track. The Bangles were the same way. And then Prince is the one that wrote Manic Monday anyway. I'm going to listen to it today. It's been a while. I like the horns, the brass, trying to feel good. Just I like fun, like songs with that energy, that bouncy, joyous energy. Wham had the same thing, like "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go." Kind of had that same vibe. Also, same year, I believe. Oh, 1984. Oh, and, well, they're you're talking swords. They have a whole show on making swords. Oh my God, you still have vinyls? That's so cool. It's vinyl is still a thing. Like they don't have any more CD stores or anything like that here, I don't think. But they still have vinyl shops. They have used CD places, but I don't think like Tower Records and those places. Or in the mall. It used to be Music Land, Sam Goody, Sound Waves. And then the bookstores were Walden Books, B. Dalton. They had one other. Was it Dorothy something? And I actually got to work at a Walden Books for a little while during the it was the holidays, the seasonal job. And it was like a dream job. And I spent all my paycheck on books because I would shop while I worked. Because as you're shelving books, you're shopping. And then I would pull books and step aside. And by the end of the 2 week pay period, I'd have a stack of books this big behind the counter. So we'd get our, and this is still when they use paper checks. So we'd get our paper check, and I would go to the bank in the mall and cash it, and then come back and buy the stack of books and go home with my big stack. And so I hardly got any money for myself. It was a cycle of working, shopping, buying the product that I'm selling, and having nothing left over. But it was cool. Is that privilege? Maybe I am privileged. It was a privilege to work for nothing, to work for free for books. Well, hey, that's it. Sometimes it's not even the amount, because honestly, I'm not a numbers guy. I don't really pay attention to the amount, and I know different colors like tell you different things, but I'm just so excited to see any amount at all, because it's the sentiment behind it and the meaning behind it more than the amount for me. It's like, oh wow, somebody. I don't know. It's like to me the community's growing. Somebody's. It's an effort to take it to the next level that's being put in the community. So when I see it show up, I get so excited because I see it as a community indicator. Sean Hudson. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm looking him up. Oh, and by the way, it is open panel. I don't know if I put the link. A British, not horror and crime. Are they a certain detective? Like, would they have a TV series? Because a lot of these like mystery shows are based on detectives out of certain modern series. I'm old school. I was a big Agatha Christie nut growing up. Hey, Dirt. But my favorite mystery author of all time is P.D. James. And she only wrote a few novels compared to Agatha. But her detective was Adam Dalgleish. And he's my favorite. And in the 80s, they had like they had mystery on PBS and they would do series. It was one of my favorite shows. And they had a Dalgleish series that I just loved. And then they remade him like a modern version of it, but I don't think it's as good. And then from there, I branched out to the modern versions, like Twin Peaks classic mystery. But then the modern version, they have The Killing on AMC, and one of the screenwriters there is the guy that created True Detective, who happens to be from my hometown in Louisiana. Um, in fact, he went to school. He went to the same school that some friends of mine did. And So like those modern series, and then the Scandinavian noir, like the Killing was based on a Danish version, and then they had shows like The Bridge, which is I like the detective in The Bridge because she's autistic, and I think they do a good job showing autism. So she's a cool character. But anyway, it spawned a whole genre of mystery series that I like. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I can't imagine a generation that can't relate to Agatha Christie. I feel like the world's lost, like that we've transitioned beyond a cultural point, like a cultural touchstone. But the modern remakes, even though they take a lot of liberties with the plots and they switch out actresses in the some of them, but the Miss Marple series and the Poirot with David Suchet, just really good. It's just entertaining, good television, and with a mystery thrown in for fun. I highly recommend most of those, especially with the Poirot stuff. The a lot of them are based on short stories. The longer ones that are based on the novels, in particular, are really good. All right, let's see. Um, oh, right, we had watched that video. Other than that, it's a Monday. It's a new day, or it's a day. It's panel time. So we're just all here together in our own little space, digital space. But that's not really that different than how AOL was. I was thinking about that the other day. I started AOL like on a serious level probably in 98 and we're at 24. So that's what, like 20, over 25 years ago, a quarter of a century. And my internet experience has not really, it's not really that different. That it's added video, the user interface has changed, the people, it's different generations of people. But the basic fundamentals of the experience is pretty much the same. You have a chat room with screen names, and chat. Yeah, I remember there were different services at the time that some people used, and AOL became so big that pretty much that's where all the people were, if that's what you were there for. And everybody just switched over to AOL. Oh wow. I remember the BBSs because my friend, who was a computer nerd, had he was part of them. That's when it was like I had a K Pro in college, believe it or not, and that's when like the computers were black screen with the green font, the little small green type font. Um, but I also worked in the university library during college, and they had a reference area with a few computers that were hooked up to the internet, and this was just before. This was like 95, 96, just before the craze was about to break. And like within a year, like hardly anybody used them. And I could go upstairs and just spend all the time I wanted looking up stuff on the computers and the bulletin boards. And like by a year later, it was packed and there were lines and waiting lists and you had to give your ID to get on the computer. Like the public had discovered the internet around that time, at least in my town. The first time, hey Chuck, I was thinking about you the other day. It's weird not seeing like when you don't see people around after a while. But that computer friend I told you about, he had AOL early, like in I don't know, maybe 95, 96, and me and some friends were at his house one day and he was showing it to us and went inside a chat room and we started playing around. And I remember my friend met this. We don't know who he was because it was just a screen name called Otaku. And he started flirting with my friend, and my friend started flirting back, and they started like trying to get each other's phone number. And I'm like, oh my god, this is AOL. This is happening right in front of my eyes. Our friend is hooking up with a total stranger named Otaku. And I just kind of brushed it off. I'm like, there's nothing about that that interests me. I'm this computer age stuff. I don't think it's for me. And then, like a year or so later, I was at another friend's house, a gay friend, and he was showing me the gay chat rooms. And suddenly the light bulb went off. And you could read the profiles, and you could find out something about the guys, and you could talk to them one on one. And it was like, oh my God, this is everything you can't get from a gay bar. And this is everything I go to a gay bar hoping to find that you're never going to get because it's the total wrong environment for any kind of conversation. This is perfect. It was like this was the best invention ever. So all of a sudden I could date. Finally, I could finally date and never have to leave my house. And I became an addict. Like from that point, I got sucked in. And then I discovered the philosophy rooms. And I discovered all these people all across the world that you could have conversations about philosophy and politics and everything we do here today in 2024 on these panels. And it was a new world. I never looked back. Like there was life before AOL or social media, and there was life after. And coincidentally, it happened about the time I left college and entered the world of work. So it was a very neat transition from one life to another. So most of my adult life has been digital. And all of my upbringing has been real world. So I have a good mix of real world experience and digital life. I'm telling you, Gen X, it's mostly where it's at. Yeah, I remember IRC. My friends used all that. Um, and then they also had a camera network, ICU maybe, that all the gay guys would. I would try to chat on it to meet guys, and all they wanted to do was like take their shirts off and jack off and have video sex, and that's not what I was there for. Like I was trying to meet a real. I was one of the few gays that actually wanted to date. But I had a roommate, and this was in like 2000, 2001. He was on that ICU network, and he would sit in his bedroom all day with that camera. And he also there were like these blogs like Dear Diary and Live Journal and stuff like that where you could like blog your life. So he would blog his life, and he had a huge follow. He became so popular. He was like the number one for a while. If you'd go to Dear Diary, he was the number one diary that everybody was following. He had a huge following all across the world because he had so much drama in his life. And he would do this ICU thing where he would talk to people in the camera network. And so he was doing basically the panelverse 20 something years ago out of in our house out of his bedroom, and we thought nothing of like it didn't register that it was. We thought it was some weird hobby that he had because he was a nerd and a geek. And he became so popular that he started calling into CNN, and like CNN would run a news story, and they're like, we're going to check in with our digital correspondent, and they'd have him on his little camera in a little box giving his opinion on politics and elections. That he was gay, so it was all about gay rights and how it would affect gay people. And I'm like, that's our roommate, dude. He was doing that shit from our bedroom. He was building up that reputation. He built like a whole digital, he became like a digital celebrity from using this camera network and this blogging network to the point where CNN was calling him to get his opinion. And this was all back in the early 2000s. Yep, MySpace. That's where I remember you get all that free music. I discovered so many new bands from I still have MySpace music from bands that I can't even find on the internet. It's like they never existed, but I'm like, dude, I have songs from them that I got off of MySpace. I know this band was a real thing. I could show you their songs, but you can't find anything about them outside of your memory. It's so weird. They're like ghost band, like lost, forgotten bands. Yeah, I think I used to have a Yahoo number. It was janky, and I hated trying to use it, but I did try to get free phone service through Yahoo for a while. I looked at it a few years ago to see if it was still around, and there was something there, but it didn't look like anybody was using it. AOL was the same way. I remember back in like 2008 when Twitter and all that was taking off. I went to AOL and they still had chat rooms, and I went in them and they were like ghost towns. There might be two or three people in one of them, and they were so excited to see a new screen name, and they try to chat with you, and it was like crickets. It was sad. It was so sad because AOL used to be hopping, and now it's like Detroit. I know. I remember Tom. Man, is that so long ago that that's nostalgia now? Hey, Moose, you want to come up? Here's the link. How did your day go yesterday? I was so excited for you, which is code for jealous, that you were I like having a lot. You were getting to go out. You were going swimming and all kind of shit. And I'm like, damn, I used to do that kind of stuff. And now, what? You're on a boat? Where are you?
I'm on a what?
Where? Oh, it looked like you were on a boat.
Oh no, I'm in like a covered tent.
Oh, okay. It still looks cool. Are you in
Yeah.
your? Are you at your house?
No, I'm at work right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm on
What's up?
lunch. I just saw you were
Uh,
live. I was like, man, daytime streaming.
yeah, I got an early start today. I was
Yeah.
itching to stream.
I feel it. I understand. It's like that yearning to like either be heard or like see all your friends or
Hmm.
or just like have a good discussion. And
It
yesterday
is.
was amazing, dude. Yesterday was amazing. I was trying to get I was trying to video it. I had I went to a pond where there was just fish swimming around your legs, you know? Like I'm
Oh my
standing
God.
there, and just hundreds
Like
and hundreds of
clear water.
fish. Clear water, you could see all the way to the bottom. It's so awesome.
Ah,
There was only three families that were on the beach, and it was like 80 degrees, and the water was nice and cold, but it was just perfect.
wow. Did you do
It,
anything after that?
well, the before and after was like the best part. I mean, I enjoyed the beach a lot, but I enjoyed my motorcycle ride to the beach a lot
Was
more.
it you went with your family, or was it
Yeah,
just you? Oh,
yeah.
they
I
go on the
took
bike with you?
no,
Oh.
I had him take the truck, and I
Oh, I
just
see. Y'all
decided I
go
wanted to
separate.
go. Yeah, I wanted to go on a little like test drive, see how far, how it would feel going like 45 minutes away from home,
Oh, nice.
and it was just really cool, man. It just felt like really free. I like the motorcycle is like my thing because
Hmm.
I don't like to talk to people when I'm driving. I really like to focus on driving. I like to put some music on and I like to focus on everything going on around me. And I feel like I don't know. It's just so much more like exciting. It's just so much more exciting than sitting in a car with someone.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the appeal. Do you have anything going on today or this week?
Today I came into work at at 4 a.m. So
Oh
I
wow.
came in super early, woke up at 3 a.m. and learning some new things. I've got a interview next week with the city. for a city job,
What
and
you gonna for
then
the government? You're gonna
yeah, I'm anti-government, but I might
are
go
you
work
gonna?
for
Is
them.
it like chaos through conformity? You're gonna go in there and mole it up?
Well, the thing about government is the government gets like the best benefits. So, if
And
something
like, wouldn't you rather have somebody like you in there than somebody that
fucking
you
a
don't
right,
know and don't
fucking a
trust?
right. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
yeah, like this is the way, dude. Not checking out, checking in, like you're
Checking
doing.
in. Yeah, being part of the solution and not part of the problem. Like I might not vote right now, and I still have my feelings about not voting for the lesser of two evils and stuff.
Yeah, I can't blame anyone at this election.
But what's the solution, right? The solution isn't just to keel over and die. The solution is to get out there and be part of the solution. The solution is to invade the invaders and take over our shit,
Yeah, it is our shit.
This is our fucking country, and
It
if we
is. It
put our
really
hands in the
is.
dirt, we can take it back. Is the way I feel.
Yeah. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm rooting for you. You said that's next week?
Yeah. That's next week. Yeah, yeah, that's next week. So I've got some decisions to make. I got some changes coming up. My life is getting a little more exciting. I'm I don't know, making some changes, spending less time part of the circus, and
Hmm. It
I came
seems.
up. I enjoy conversations with you, and I enjoy conversations with a few other people, and I yearn for those. So I figure I go where I'm a VIP, and I won't go where I'm being treated like shit or being egged on to you know do something that I don't really necessarily want to do.
Hmm.
Treat others the way you want to be treated, right?
And you become who you spend your time with, too. So,
Yep. Yeah, that's a huge thing. You know.
well, we're trying to keep it a healthy space here. So please keep using it. That's what it's for when you need it. But do
Yeah, I
you
mean,
feel healthier, like having that more of a balance now? Because I sure did when I was in Louisiana, and I had like real people, real events to do, and that I could come on the internet when I felt like it. I could do real life stuff when I felt like it. It felt
yeah,
less like an addiction and more like just a healthy part of life.
that's the thing. It was like every day, like I was waking up. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be like, "All right, who's going live? Let's see who's going on," because I woke up, and then it would be like, wake up in the morning again. Oh, who's live? It's like all day long I'm checking who's live. So I can go listen to what they got to say. Like it's the fear of missing out, right?
Yeah.
And so I've realized that there's a lot of shit here that I can miss out on, and it's fine. I don't have to bag on it. I don't have to down anybody. I just if it don't fly, or if it don't apply, let it fly.
And I'll tell you another secret. It's the same shit. It's like a little music box that just spins the same tune over and over and over. So you're not really missing out because if you check back in on it, it's the same storylines, the same characters from 10 seasons ago. None of it changes. Ever, ever, ever. So once you know the pattern, you've seen all you're ever going to see from it.
Yeah, and there's people here that are online just to like drag other people through the dirt, and there's people that are here to make a mockery of everybody and try to like paint them as like some evil people or horrible people and shit.
Hmm.
And like I'm that guy who like I say whatever, like I'll play the character and whatnot. And so I've got to the point where it's like I'm not even going to give people that. I'm not even going to give people the character. Like I'm literally gonna go where I'm treated like a VIP, and if I'm not treated like a VIP, I'm not going there.
That sounds very healthy to me. I'm wondering what brought you to that like realization in a way that might help other people get there if they're in that same situation.
Well, I sold my hotel so I could spend more time with my daughter, right? I didn't sell my hotel so I could spend more time online with other people. So I made it a point to when I get home, I focus on my family.
Hmm.
You know, I focus on what's important, the stuff that's going to be there tomorrow, the people that are going to be in my life tomorrow. The people online, they come and go. There's a few people out there that, like you know, me and you, like I feel like we have a friendship, you know, going on. We have a bond, and other people are just like they treat people online the way they treat like shitty products from Walmart. You know, it's like, oh, let's our hairbrush broke. Let's go buy another cheap piece of shit hairbrush or whatever. You know, that's what I feel like, dude. Like people are so replaceable on here. It's like if I disappeared, like if I totally disappeared, I give it 6 months and nobody would even question where the fuck I was or who I am or anything like that. I could come back as a totally different dude and people would fall for it.
Some of us would, because even when you leave for a few days, we wonder where you are.
Yeah, but that's the few. That's the few real people that are actually trying to get real interactions and not just trying to like troll people and just egg them on into getting like emotional or having a triggered response to something that other people are saying. You know.
Yeah. So you had like you had like life goals to begin with that you could like re-clarify and refocus on to put the Panelverse in perspective, because those are the most important years is right now. Like as somebody that didn't have that parent around growing up, like these are the most important years where it's going to make the most difference. So if you want to have any kind of influence, this is the time to do it. So I think that you're being led in the right direction with your family.
Yeah, man, and it's a lot of it is like we have little time. We have a little bit of time, and when I'm gone, I want my daughter to remember me as the man who like, you know, came through for her, the man who was like everything for her, you know? Okay.
She's worth way more than anybody in this Panelverse. I'm
Oh
serious.
yeah. Oh yeah, and like I was gonna do a stream, but it's like every time I think about doing a stream on all the things about being a father and all the little intricacies and all the like, you know, just things that make me happy about being a father and all the little things we do and stuff. Every time I think about doing that, I'm like, I might do it for myself and I might make it private or whatever and just make it for myself so one day she can see it. But
Oh.
I'm not really sure that I don't even know if it's like something that I want to give to people. You know what I mean? It's like it's a precious feeling, and
Hmm.
it's like I'm getting kind of selfish with my time, getting selfish with my commitment to other people.
That might be a good thing though. Like that might be a sign of health and growth.
Yeah, I don't think everybody needs to know everything about my life or everything about me. I think there was a time where it was like, okay, here's everything about me. Here's the good, the bad, the ugly. Here's the great times, the sad times, all that stuff. But it, I don't know. It's not attracting the people that I want in my life, right? I've had nothing but pretty much trolls around me, people that want to cause chaos, people that want to talk down to everybody else, people that want to tell everybody else how much of a shitty life they have, right? While they're living a shitty life. And I'm over here, I'm living a good life and it's not easy. It's not easy. I always talk about the positives, but it's it's just one of those things, man. I'm done with it. I'm bored.
Yeah.
Bored. Like we're here to have like actual growth and actually see some like something come from these conversations. And you know, when I first got here on your panel, I thought, oh man, look at all these people we have. You know, we had like 10 people on panel all the time. We had all kinds of diverse opinions and perspectives and stuff. And over time, they've kind of weeded themselves out because they either didn't feel like it was worth the juice wasn't worth the squeeze, or they didn't fit in here, or they just weren't actually pursuing anything like other than just having a conversation. Um, and here you are now. You know, I've seen your streams. You have some good night ones. You have all kinds of people from various walks of life, and It's a healthier panel. It's a smaller panel. It's not a bunch of people talking over each other all the time. It's nice.
I like where it's been going lately. Um, and ooh, you got something loud going on. And you're right. When you make yourself vulnerable like that, people are gonna attack when you expose your soft spots. But then other people are gonna like find strength from that, or relate to it, or get a benefit from it. So I guess it's a risk either way. I say all the time, you have to have some kind of thickness of skin to be out in this environment.
Yeah, and also another thing for people that have videos made about him and stuff, just don't look. Just don't look. Like literally, if you don't know, it can't hurt you. It literally can't hurt you. Someone talking shit about you, saying everything in the world about you, saying you're the worst father, you're the worst son, it doesn't matter. If you never hear it, it's never gonna affect you. So
Yes, and you still get to evaluate what kind of father you are over like over them. They you know better than they do. They're not even in your life.
yeah, but people like to use the emotional pull and they
Uh-huh.
don't like to use like actual facts or evidence. And
Yes.
so that's where I get frustrated. And that's where I start backing out of like people's lives is when they just start making shit up and then going with it.
Yeah, but that's mostly what people do, I find. They have their little stories that they got to keep going. Even when they know different, they still go with the story because it's
Well,
easier. I don't know, there's some kind of psychological payoff.
what was your weekend like?
Probably this. I don't do much. Like one day is like another. I'm the opposite of you. I'm trying to do more of this and make it more of a life, but I also don't have a real life like you do to kind of counterbalance it either. So I'm trying to go all in on this.
There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have other responsibilities. You don't have other mouths that are, need to be fed and you need to be responsible for them.
Yeah.
If it was just me, then I would be like, Jeff, let's go hard. I'll be here every day. Let's do 8 hours a day. Let's put in our work and move on. But unfortunately, like, every time I try to go hard on YouTube, I end up losing track of my priorities and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's a
Do you
balance I
think
have.
if you like stabilize all of that, you can eventually work YouTube back in a way that's less chaotic?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely do. I think that I can carve time out of my day to make it a point to spread my message and hear other people's message and I want to become a really good questionnaire or whatever.
I think you are. I think you're a great facilitator of conversation. You have that skill where you can have um, diverging and sometimes clashing opinions and points of view and still have them work in all in one conversation. That's not easy to do for a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's hard for me too. It's hard to
Well,
keep
you
things
do a
under
good
wraps.
job. Part of it is just creating the kind of space that lets it happen and then managing that space um, so it stays in the parameters that you're wanting it. But so far, what I've seen of you, you definitely have that talent. Oh yeah,
I've
and a food
also,
truck. You could do a podcast food truck where you
dude,
drive your food around and
I
stream
didn't
it
want to
with people.
say that. I
Uh,
did not want to say that, but guess what? I'm actually in talks with someone about a food truck,
what?
and Yeah. So I'm actually I'm working on trying to find myself a food truck, a spot for the food truck, and the cost of everything. And
Oh,
yeah, that might happen, man.
oh my God,
Might
that's
happen.
awesome.
I appreciate that. Like, I don't think I'm the best cook at all by far, but I think that I put a lot of love into what I do. And like, if you saw my plate compared to the plate that I show you, that's my wife. You know, that's my wife's plate.
Oh, I was
And
gonna
so
say because the photos that you show, whether I don't know how good of a cook you are, but they sure look like they were
I
made
make,
by somebody who
yeah,
could
I make
cook.
hers like look like it came straight out of like a restaurant. And then if you look at my plate, I just pile that shit on the plate because it's all going in the gullet anyways.
Yeah. So she
But
gets
if
treated like a queen or princess. I guess queen.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely gets treated like a queen, but not. I don't know. It's not. I'm not. I don't know. I could do better. I could do much better. I just don't. I don't even simp for my wife. Like, I don't simp for her. I don't. I don't like. I don't know how to say it. Like,
Have
other
you
than
ever
like,
sent
I
for
got my
her, or is
balls.
that just your norm?
There was a time where like I put my balls on the shelf and I let her guide my life a little bit because she's a better like business person than I am.
Mm.
I'm good with people, but I'm not, and I'm good with getting people to buy my stuff, but I'm not good at like the business aspect. I'm not good at setting the prices. I'm not good at like, like that's not my thing. Like I want to be the guy who does facilitates it all, but I don't really care. I don't know, man. I don't care about the numbers as much. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm the same way though. I'm the same way, and she's good at that. She was
Oh,
better at
she's a
that.
great business lady. She is so good at that. Like, and she was in the hotel industry for over 20 years.
Oh
So
wow.
when we bought our hotel, she had experience with 200 room hotels, and she had, she's seen it all. She's seen the nasty nasties. She's seen the really cool people. She's, dealt with really rich people, really poor people, all, up down all the way around. And so she knew how to price things. She knew how like to be fair with people and not overcharge them for an experience. Like like what we tried to do was we try to under promise and over deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We knew we weren't the Ritz Carlton. We knew that our rooms were small, but we also knew that our rooms had brand new blankets, brand new sheets, brand new towels, brand new everything, brand new floors, brand new walls. Like, we made sure that, like, even if you were on a budget, like when you walked into the room, you felt like you were balling on a budget. You know?
How many years did you have it?
4 years.
Hmm. That's gotta have been wild. All the
Man,
people.
the first guest that we ever had, it scared the shit out of me, man. It scared me so much. The first guest we ever had booked a room for a month out, and we weren't even open the day that like they came. And she came and started ringing the doorbell at midnight,
At
and I'm
midnight.
like, yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, what is going on? We're not even open yet. And I go out there, and this lady had booked a room for a month later and thought it was for that day. And we already had the room ready. And so I was like, well, this person clearly needs somewhere to sleep tonight. So I just let him in. Well, the next thing that happened is I woke up the next day and there was beer bottles outside of her room or whatever, and I was like, okay, we'll just let that slide. I picked them up, and she was like, oh, can I get another day or whatever? I said, yeah, yeah, sure, whatever. Well, that was the day we were open that day, right? And so there was a family that stayed in the room next to her, and like the family had to come over at like 8 o'clock at night and get me because they were like having some wild sex, and they were like, I mean, you could hear it like down the hall, around the corner, like,
Oh my god.
you know what I mean? And that's not even the worst part, right? Like we took care of that. But then I woke up the next day and we went to go clean the room, and all of our brand new linens, everything brand new, was sitting inside the shower. Everything brand fucking new, like brand new. I just spent like thousands of dollars on linens and all that stuff, and there was a bottle of bedbug spray, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" That was my first customer. Oh, and she stole the key.
Wow. Did that set the
So
tone for the next 4 years, or was she
no,
an
it did. No, no,
aberration?
no. That was just a oops. Like now I know. Like,
Welcome
don't
to
be so
running a
fucking nice to
hotel.
people. Don't be so nice to people. Don't bend over backwards for people you don't know. You can do the right thing, but you don't have to give everybody everything. And it was, man, it was rough. It was rough. That was that, and then I had a guy who was with his girlfriend, and they were down on their luck, and they needed uh, they needed to pay like at the end of the day instead of pay before they stay or whatever. And so that one ended up biting me in the butt too.
Oh,
You
you
know,
were trying to do a good thing?
I was trying to do a good thing, and
Yeah, don't do
they were
that.
local people, and I could tell they were young, and they were having. I mean, they were struggling, man. They were struggling just to like get by, and it was like I didn't want to have some guy and his girl sleeping on the streets, so I had to take over. But I made that decision, and I paid the $100 or whatever for the night that they didn't pay.
Well, it shows that you're not a heartless capitalist. Like you were able to do capitalism, but still have a heart.
Yeah, that's why when Jack Talcott gets on me for having a business and working and stuff like
What?
that.
Oh my God. Who?
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know
well,
people had that kind of hostility from just, I have a business too. I hope he doesn't feel that way about me.
well, Jack is really against fiat. I mean,
So
that's the
does he,
thing.
though. He has the same business. He's a fucking life coach.
Uh, I mean, if you're a coach, don't you have to coach somebody before you can call yourself a coach?
Possibly, but it's still a business. Like, how is he against? How is he gonna c- come down on somebody else for owning a business when he owns a business? Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm enjoying it too. So I love. So they have you in
Hey,
a little tent. They
I'm
have
sorry,
like a
guys.
do a.
Oh, I'm outside now.
Oh,
I gotta go back to work, brother. So I'm
okay.
sorry I
It
gotta
was.
cut out on you guys, but I actually gotta clock in.
Yep. Good catching up. Yep. Go do real
I
stuff. That's good.
I appreciate you, and I'll be out of here at noon, so an hour and a half. If you're still streaming, I'll be here. If not, I'll see you later today.
Okay. Sounds good. We might be here. Take care. Work carefully.
All right,
Work smartly.
peace.
Peace. Christ is King. Oh wow. This that makes me feel good cuz it's my place. This is where I come to de-stress too. So I'm glad other people are getting the same bit. That I said when I started this thing that my goal was to be part there was supposedly a big mental health crisis and my goal was to be part of the solution to the mental health crisis. Ultimately, whatever else happens here, that is my vision board, the middle of it, the target that is to help with the mental like help decrease mental stress. And so it makes me very happy to hear that that's happening. Okay, we have somebody in the back called Gray Ghost. I'm going to need to see camera and figure out who you are. All right, let me take a look. Ah, okay, they're just up here posting something. What is this? Batman, beware the gray ghost. It's a song. It sounds like a from a Looney Tunes cartoon soundtrack. All right. Also, I have to pee, and I still have not come up with a good solution for that. I was, I'm really bad at production, pre-production, post-production. I'm really good at sitting in this chair and turning the camera on, and then on with the show. Um, but I intend, and I guess I should stop deluding myself, to like find little clips that I can use or videos for when I need to step away, etc. Oh, okay. So that's cool. You're communicating in video, kind of like that. So let me see if somebody's streaming that I could leave you with. Do y'all want to watch Frank play video games? Would that be entertaining? Um, there's not really anybody streaming right now. I think Flow, but I don't like to risk. That's always a risk. Uh, I don't know. What could I do? We're coming up in an hour. I could also wrap up and try again. Um, I have here, I guess, just I'll play some more of my walkabout video, and I'll be back in like a minute or so. Just enjoy me walking around town. That's all I got right now. Sorry. How long is this damn light? I mashed the button. Oh, now we gotta wait for the arrows, and then hopefully we'll get the actual green light. All right, that's my signal. Dude, Baskin Robbins. I have not been to a Baskin Robbins in like 30 or 40 years, probably since I was in my 20s. Um, I never really think about eating ice cream. Okay. That wasn't a song, YouTube. I just made that up. It was. I'm just gonna tell you which one. Okay. Maybe I can shift over to a more residential street in a while. This is not very scenic. The Hanger Clinic? What is that, an abortion clinic? Or is it Dr. Hanger? Every empowering human potential. Wow, wouldn't that be a slogan for an abortion clinic? Whose potential are you empowering? Because the potential is usually associated with the fetus. But maybe it's the potential of the mother to live her life. It really is a nice day out. Look at all the plant. Look at these flowers up here. See a little patch of purple and gold, pink. Let's see, do I have anything on my mind today? This week's been going, just coasting along. I feel like I'm on cruise control lately. I haven't been, things aren't moving like toward a particular direction. I don't really have a firm goal right now or purpose. So I have that kind of drifting feeling. Oh, shit. All right. I hope that was adequate. All right. Let's see what's going on in the comments. Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Part of it's just me kind of being lazy in the mornings, and part of it is me being seduced away by entertainment, other entertainment. Um, but I tend to do more day streams. Like my YouTube window, the analytics shows you the peak streaming time, and mine is like about 9 in the morning to about 9 at night, or actually like about 9 to 6. So nine my time morning to about 6 in the afternoon, which is about a day, a work day. So my goal is to start doing it more like a normal work day, where I'm here in the morning and leave in the evening. But then I want to save room for evening streams too, so I kind of have to break it up. Oh, good, Winston, that helps. That y'all. Uh, Baskin Robbins, I remember those. Right. All right. Well, I don't really have much else. I could just wind it down and come back. I think I might do that. I have a few little errands to run, and I'll come off and on throughout the day. That's my plan: is to keep it going when it's needed, and not waste a lot of people's time when it's not. So until I could get something more stable, but that will come with the growth organically. Winston, where are you? Are you in the U.S.? So, all right, let me look one more time at who's streaming. Oh, Zat. Oh, he's doing his gummy thing. He's talking about sword making. Here, I'll put Zat's link. Maybe I could wrap this one up and everybody could go check Zat out. Oh, he's talking about the Lord of the Rings, how they forged the ring. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, y'all go check out Zat. Me too. I love. That's one thing I liked about living in Vegas. I remember the day I got there. I stayed at my friend's house, and I went out in the driveway, and I could look around and I could see like all Vegas is like has like a ring of mountains around it. And I would just stand in the driveway and stare at the mountains because we don't have those in Louisiana. And it was so cool just being around, just having mountains to look at anytime you wanted during the day. Just it, I don't. I'm a desert mountain person. I just always have been. I don't know how a little kid from Louisiana ends up being desert mountain, but that is just what my soul responds to. Oh, okay, Tennessee. Oh my God, Dollywood. Tennessee is one of the states that a lot of people are moving to. A lot of people that feel disaffected by the blue states or the liberal states, of which I'm one. And I thought about Utah, but I think I'm going to run into the cultural stuff, and Tennessee might be more. I think anywhere in the South, I would do better than a more northern or western place, just because the cultural stuff around emotion and socialization, like social ability, is so different. Oh, well, hang on. I might not be wrapping up after all, because we're going to check in with
What's
this
up?
guy.
What's up, man? I just heard you talk about Tennessee, and I've been to different parts of the country, and Tennessee was probably one of the most memorable ones. It was beautiful, man. We went because my ex, her family is from Tennessee, and they live in Maryville, which is right outside Knoxville, and we went over to what is that place called, where they have all the theme parks,
Oh
Gatlinburg,
yeah,
Tennessee, and then you go
I
up
think
there
I've
and
been there.
and they have the Smoky Mountains and the water runs down and people are kayaking and they're just really cool people. I remember saying there, I was like, man, I'd love to live here because Virginia and Tennessee are very different, but they're very the same. They're southern kind of
Y'all
salt
don't
of the
have
earth.
weed? Oh my God, y'all need to get weed. Why are all these people moving there if there's no weed? Yeah, I did. I went camping in the Smokies and
Yeah.
outside of Gatlinburg, I believe. It was just gorgeous. And we
And
we
they
went to Chattanooga on a field trip growing up.
yeah, it was a really cool trip. I mean, the food was good. I mean, the people were cool. We actually went to a Tennessee Volunteers game, the Vols game, and it was just like a sea of orange, because that's their colors. And it was just a really cool experience. Sometimes you'll go to another state and you're like, this place sucks. You can't wait to get out of there. But
But
it was
Tennessee
just so
was not
cool.
like that.
And they had a
What
house.
by the way, who won the game last night?
Which one? Oh, the Giants lost. Yeah, we lost by
To
3.
the Washington, was it the
Yeah.
Commanders?
Yeah, our kicker got hurt, so we couldn't kick any extra points or any field goals because
Y'all just
I
have
don't
one
know.
they don't have replacement kickers?
They have a backup, but he is more of a punter than a kicker. So they let him try one, and he missed it. So they're like, so
And that cost all the game.
every time Giants would score a touchdown, yeah, because we lost by 3, and we had multiple touchdowns. So if we would have made those 3 extra points instead of trying to do a 2-point conversion, then we would have been tied and we went to overtime. So a kicker is
That
very
I think I
important.
actually followed all that.
Yeah, but the Seahawks won. Your team won.
I don't know if they're
That's
my team.
that's Washington State. The Seahawks. The Seahawks did
Yeah.
win.
Oh, they so that's a separate game. They were playing some other
Yeah.
team.
hmm
Oh,
I
okay.
can't
Who
remember who
did
they were
they
playing.
beat?
I can't remember who they were playing, but I know the Saints destroyed who they played. It was like double the double the score. They
They
have
beat
Derek
the New
Carr.
England
Was it
Patriots.
they played the Patriots? Well, they
Yeah.
destroyed them. It was like 40 something to 20 something. They just destroyed them. Um, yeah, that was a good game. I was kind of eavesdropping because my game was so boring. I kept
And the
jumping over to
Saints
the other.
played the Cowboys. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
44-19.
they destroyed them. They did. Matt Carr took them apart.
Yeah.
Kamala. Kamala is the guy's last
Kamala.
name.
Oh,
Yeah, he had
not
like
our.
3. I think he had like 3 touchdowns, a whole bunch of rushing yards. But the Saints quarterback played really well, really well.
Who
So
is the quarterback now?
it's Carr, I think, right? Derek
Uh,
Carr. I think it's Derek Carr. I think, pretty sure. I think it's Derek
3 or
Carr.
more touchdowns in a game without surrendering a single touchdown, but still lose in
Yeah,
regulation. Oh,
yeah, and it was the first time in their history, the Washington Redskins, that in their history that a kicker hit
the
um,
Seahawks.
7 no, DC.
Oh, the
See,
Commanders.
The Giants lost, but they had multiple touchdowns.
I
The
thought we
Redskins,
were the Redskins,
no, you're the Seahawks.
but we used to be the Redskins.
Never, never.
I thought. I'm so
The
confused. I
Redskins, the
thought we had
Redskins,
to change our names. That was
yes, the
DC.
Redskins did. Yes, the Redskins did. The Redskins are in DC. Washington's always the
Oh,
Redskins
we've
and the
always
Commanders
been the Seahawks.
always been the
That's how out
Seahawks.
of touch with the sports world
Yeah,
I am. This must
yeah,
be how normal people feel when they
yes.
try to analyze
No,
politics.
no doubt. You got the Seahawks in Washington State, and then you got Washington D.C. The Redskins now they're the
And they're
Commanders.
the ones that had to change it because of
Yes.
racism to
Yep.
Commanders, which sounds just as oppressive and patriarchal to me.
But everybody, and the thing was is that it wasn't mocking the Redskins. People were proud to wear, the Indian on the helmet. It was like a,
Of
you
course. I
know,
don't know why they could keep
yeah,
capitulating to this
yeah.
ideological bullcrap.
They tried it with the Braves. I know years ago they were trying to get the Braves to change, and then they were like, "No, we ain't changing anything." But I
Because
guess the
even if
owner,
you change it, like the
Mhm.
next generation is going to find something wrong with that. At some point, you have to stand your ground,
Yeah,
say this is America, stop freaking out about senseless stuff, and
yeah.
enjoy the game.
But I mean, they're not going after the Chiefs. The Chiefs
Why
haven't
aren't
changed.
they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I thought that the word chief they were going like you couldn't even use the word chief. So why would a team get to use it?
I don't know.
Like
It-
CEO, chief executive officer, stuff like that.
it- and then the Chiefs, and if you look at the Chiefs logo, I believe it's like an Indian tool, like, and then it says Chiefs in the middle. And that was the big backlash. Like maybe about a year ago, last season, there was a kid in the stands of a Chiefs game with half of his face red, half of his
Oh
face
yeah, I
black,
remember.
and he was wearing the headdress, but it was to show homage to the team. It wasn't to, um,
Because
but of
then they
course,
saw race. They
yeah.
saw like white nationalism.
But this is the great thing: the kid and his family, they're Native American.
Yeah, I
It's
remember
so
that. Uh
yeah,
huh.
yeah. So it's like basically seeing an African American guy wearing a shirt that says Black Power and saying, "Oh, you got to take that shirt off." He has every right to wear that shirt. That's his heritage. You can't tell someone that they're showing pride in who they are, that they can't wear
That's the
that. They can't
Karenocracy.
display it.
People are getting
Yeah,
silly about things.
yeah,
That's not America.
yeah. So people need to kind of mind their own business and let people
I mean,
express
they
themselves
can
how they
say
want
it, but the person just
to.
needs to tell them to fuck off. That's what's
Yeah,
not happening. They're taking it seriously.
yeah. They're taking it too, as they say, too literal. They're putting way too much stock in something that's very inconsequential. But
Right, but it's not about any of that because these people
yeah,
are so neurotic. That would happen anyway, even if there was no one
sure.
with the Chiefs logo or no
Yeah,
one do. They would still find something somewhere. So it's more about their
it's
personality type than
mhm.
anything going on in the world.
It's like they have to scour the earth for something to complain about. Does that make sense, Jeff?
They do. They do
Yeah,
scour,
yeah. Just like anywhere I can find a
scour,
little.
and scowl.
Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you, man. Tomfoolery, Jeff. Tomfoolery. They always.
It's Karen foolery.
That's it. Carefoolery. Got to make up a word for that. But it's
It
just,
is. It's carefoolery.
I just think, everybody needs to just chill and relax. And people get so wound up.
I don't know why they do. That's why I'm a Cajun supremacist. I don't know why white
Yeah.
people are as uptight, stressed out as they are. We don't have that where I come from.
It's just, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. I mean, you try to sit, you try to analyze. Like you'll have somebody that is acting a certain way, and you'll go, just in your own mind, why? Where is this coming from? And I can't figure people out sometimes. I'm just like, what the heck is going on with this person? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. And the one thing I've noticed, Jeff, if you believe what I'm thinking is that it's almost like I've never seen more obsessed people, like people that are just literally just obsessed with somebody. I have a different mentality. When I really despise somebody or don't like somebody, I wash them out of my mind. I get rid of them out of my psyche, and I won't go talk to them. I will just move on to someone I like to talk to, that I enjoy being around. But
Yeah.
for people to lament, to sit there and stew and lament and all of that negativity, they're only hurting themselves. And the person that they're talking about is laughing.
Well,
You
there is
know?
a mental health crisis,
Yeah, there is.
supposedly. And they
So,
I don't know what kind of childhoods they have, but
yeah,
you represent something from to them way above and beyond just you
yeah,
as a person because they barely know you're a stranger.
yeah. And Moose, I heard him say it earlier. I was listening because I was cleaning up, and it is true. People will take a lie and they'll run with it, and then they'll compile on the lie, and they'll make more and more stuff up, and then if enough people say it, it's got to be true. So it's silly. But this platform is good because people can come up and just talk and be themselves, and just express different kinds of views, and that's
And the
needed.
thing I love about it is it captures everything. It archives everything. So we don't have to argue about he said she said. You just can
Yeah,
go look at it and that settles all the arguments that would
yeah,
normally happen in person with gossip.
hmm definitely. And it's a way to just kind of talk to people you're probably never going to meet. Like people do meet on these things, if they're close by, like let's just say, I'm in Virginia and there's a guy in North Carolina. We kind of really cool and stuff like that. Or, hey man, you want to like meet halfway one time, and go fishing or something? People do
Yeah.
that. They do that, but, not like across country, like
Well, actually, we might have a panel con in New Orleans next year.
yeah. You told me, asked me if I would go down. I would definitely go. I would need a lot of
It'd
notice
be
ahead of
fun.
time. Yeah, it would be cool. You know.
But yeah,
Oh, that,
I'd love it if people start get together in person,
yeah,
so we could start having local networks, like
yeah,
regional networks.
yeah. But it's just like the paradigm of this channel. It's going to continue to grow, and it's going to continue to piss people off because you are a panel host that they can't control. In other words, a lot of times, some of these other panels, they'll have people will come on and they'll try to bully the channel owner
Hmm.
into different kind. I don't want to talk about that. Or I don't want this person here. It's him or me or her or me. And that's when it starts to get stressful for the panel owner. So, anybody who comes up here can talk and articulate themselves. And if there's an argument, then sometimes someone has to step away for the night. That's okay, you know. But these
Yeah,
other
this
panels,
space is shared by a lot of different diverse people, and it's just
yeah,
managing it all in one space. And
that's it.
sometimes that does mean some people don't get to share the space at the same time.
Yeah, I was getting pissed off one night, and you said, "Hey, just come back tomorrow." And I was like, "Cool." I didn't take offense to it, but I was getting worked up. I was getting attacked. I was getting heated, and I just took a step away. That's it. It's
That's
but
healthy to
people,
do. That's what I
yeah,
do.
just stop it. Go watch a movie. Drink some coffee, and whatever. But people will take that literally as an attack on them. You know what? I'm going to get that person back. No, just step away and come back tomorrow. It's no big deal. So, Jeff, I find this panel verse fascinating and terrible at the same time. Does that make sense? It's
Yeah.
awesome and it's shitty at the same time. So you just have to
But
kind of
it's
navigate.
also, believe it or not, I've seen the potential for health too. Like I've
Yeah,
seen healthy things
sure.
happen as well. And so it's again it's a tool like just like religion and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
It's double edged, at least two edges, and it's what you do with it. It's what the user
sure.
does with it. And so if with
Yeah,
the right people, I think we can do something with it
yeah.
that has a positive benefit.
I think so too.
I'm
And,
convinced of it. I'm going to
do
spend
you know
the
how I
rest of my
know?
life trying to prove it.
Do you know how I know that you're doing something good? I'll tell you why I know this.
The
I know
haters.
that I know that you're doing something good and something positive because other people hate the fact that different kinds of people can come up and have a conversation. In other words, with them, it's not allowed because they have limited brain capacity and they can't get off their own high horse. So that's why they hate on channels like this that are just educational, talking about relative topics. So, you know, that's how I know that it's actually catching on.
And
Just by,
honestly, the hate is not even that bad
yeah,
compared to other channels. I see they get way more hate than this one.
yeah. I'm
So,
talking about the other ones. I'm talking about,
oh,
it's just stews and stews and stews. But no, it's on the right path. I mean, you were stuck on 450 for a while, and all of a sudden you're at 550, 600. It's just going to continue to go. The big thing is going to be when you hit 1,000. That's going to be a big deal. When you hit
well,
that 1,000, that's going to be a big
I
deal.
think that
And you get it.
unlocks more powers. Like I could
Yeah,
send people to other channels. Anybody is welcome to come on and
yeah,
contribute to the content. So
yeah.
this is a
I heard that
collaboration.
when a lot of people hit 1,000, that it grows exponentially. People start really checking out the panel more. And the everything else more. But you're on the way, man. You're already past it. You're already past halfway mark. So you're on the way.
That was my goal, was getting to that
Yeah,
500, and now I feel
yeah,
like I can coast.
yeah. You crushed it. I think you got like 50 or 60 like in a week or two. It was like, it shot right up. And then from there, it's good. I'm happy for you, man. Keep going. You know, I don't, and the thing is, to be honest with you, I don't mind light trolling people like that, but I just want you to know my stance. I want to go away from the drama. That's just me. Um,
Yeah, I
you
believe
know,
you. I think
yeah,
you've
I don't want to.
demonstrated that.
I like when like maybe you, Vinny, and maybe like Tommy's on or somebody else is on, like Moose, and we're just cracking jokes and laughing. And
Tommy said he might come on his lunch break
yeah, it's cool.
in a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I like that too. I like kicking it
yeah,
with the with the Italians.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna bring it up, but there's another person that's not allowed here was basically making fun of Italian people, saying they're terrible people, they're garbage. I'm like, wow, wow,
What,
that's
there's still racism toward Italian, even in
yeah,
2024. There's so many other groups
yeah,
to be hateful toward now that gives you way
yeah.
more clout.
Yeah. People hate Italians, man. I don't know what it is. Well,
Why?
I
They have
used
the
to,
they have the best food. That's some of the best
yeah.
food on the planet.
But this little person who's not allowed up here is just like what went in on Italians. You know, they're just garbage. I'm like, what the hell? It's like, whoa, where is this coming from? It's like, well, what? You know, so I'm like, okay. Italians are some of the nicest people in
Do you
person, man,
think
and
it's
they'll
a
do
Roman
anything.
Empire thing?
I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
by the way, it's Australians have this thing called Family and Community Day. It's kind of
Mhm.
like their Labor Day, and it's today, and it celebrates hanging out with friends and family and
It's
community.
awesome.
So I thought, what a wonderful thing to acknowledge and celebrate here. So happy family and community to everybody across the world.
Family, family. Oh, I love. I was talking to it's Just Us, right? Just Us, the Australian guy. He would come on a few times. The guy with the big beard.
Yeah,
Remember?
Chris,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
us.
He was always cool to talk about Australia with. Australia has a really deep history, and it's a fascinating place. It really is. They got a crazy history. So yeah, man, I love it. You should do and it's up to you, of course. You know, you kind of dictate how you want to do it. You should do theme nights. Like in other words, one night we're going to talk about like maybe like different countries and their customs and what they but it's cool. You know, it's kind of
I thought about it many times. And then have
yeah
you watched these streams and people try to stay on a topic and I just know my
yeah
crowd and I'm like you could try a theme but good luck getting it to
yeah.
stay that
Sometimes
theme.
you
And so I
gotta
just gave up on
yeah.
like
And you can do like if you want, you can do like a trivia night. You know, you just
yeah.
get like scripted trivia questions and stuff like
And
that.
I do like the clip idea. It's been suggested many times and it's my inability to remember to go back and actually do the clips and stuff.
Yeah,
So that's what it's me. I'm standing my own way there.
yeah,
It's that attention tunnel thing.
yeah. But it's cool. You
I'm
know,
I'm
people.
I'm waiting for the day where the AI can index everything
Mhm,
on the like you
mhm.
could go to a YouTube channel and search their channel for any video with these terms in it and
Yeah,
you'll search the transcripts and then I can find my own content cuz I know the discussions I had, I just couldn't tell
mhm,
you what video they're on. And so
yeah.
if I had a search function, when was I talking about aliens
Well, you could do
with
this.
Mike?
You could do this. You could once you uh crap. What was I going to say? Once you have a stream, when you're done with the stream, just have like a ledger, like a book, and just put the date and say talked about this and this, and
I
just
know,
have it
but you
like,
know what that
yeah.
is? That's something called work, and I'm a slacker.
We got
We
to get a
don't do that.
secretary, a stenographer behind you,
I'm
typing
not
as you're
that
talking.
white. That's your
Yeah,
whiteness.
yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just a crazy
But
Italian guy.
some YouTube has a thing where it like makes chapters and topics for you,
Yeah,
but it's not very it's not very good. It doesn't divide them very
sure.
it
Yeah,
intuitively.
yeah, yeah. They're
And
probably
so
going to
I
keep
just turned
improving.
all that off.
Yeah,
Besides, the
they'll keep.
live stream experience really is live. A lot of people don't go back to old streams to
Mhm,
find content. And I've done a lot of educational stuff, and I wish I could find a way to like just clip that out and chop that up separately. Um,
mhm.
but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I could
It
always
is a lot of
redo it.
work. Yeah. People dedicate their entire day and night to this thing, man. They make all these videos and they cut and paste them, and then they'll use AI and they'll alter your pictures, and it's just like, yo, it's not that it's not that important. Oh yeah, and I'm made fun of because I say yo. It's just something I've always said. I go yo, and I'm also
I've
very
never.
boring because I talk about movies and food. And I apologize to everyone listening that I like those things.
People
So
like movies and they like food. It brings people together.
how
It
dare me,
creates
Jeff?
community. It can be
I
foundational.
I should be
Sitting
flawed.
around and listening to the same like the Homer. They used to have the rhapsodes that would do the performances of the
Yeah,
Iliad and the Odyssey, and it would bring the entire culture together.
yeah,
Listening to stories is an age-old tradition in human history, and so is
Okay.
food. So I
And
don't
that
know
was the
who
big,
these weird people are that are complaining
yeah,
about you
yeah,
talking about food in movies.
yeah. And it's just to kind of text what you were saying earlier. It's just like people really do just want to bring other people down, and
This
it's
is
really sad. It's really
something
sad that
happened
people.
on Cheeseheads. That's where this is coming
Oh,
from.
I'm not talking about other panel memes. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I don't. I'm
See,
not really
I'm
familiar
not going to
with
embellish to
Cheesehead.
give any, fuel to the fire. It's just that it's just funny that people get
It's just
angry about
ambient.
people talking about positive things, just positive things. Like we're talking about what we like to eat. We're talking about the weather, and we're talking about anything. Hey, man, you heard that song? That those because these things that we like, they're our passions, and they kind of help explain who we really are. In other words, someone who likes music, movies, and cooking has a very creative way about them. They like to create and they like to listen to art because music, cooking, and movies and that's a form of art.
Hmm.
It's just like a painting. It's creating something. So instead of just sitting there and going, well, you know what, f that guy and f that girl and that person's a piece of garbage, I'd rather be talking about stuff that's positive. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
And I don't get
Well,
upset anymore.
you're their movie now, so take
Right?
advantage of that and
Yeah, it's okay.
take
Listen,
control of the movie.
if picking on me makes them feel better about their sorry experience, so be it.
Well, see,
So be it. Because you know what?
it's having a mental health benefit for people.
Yeah. Because I'm man enough not even say their names, Jeff. See, I'm not even saying their names. I'm not coming on here. And this person said
But
this.
you
I
want
just
to.
said, no, I don't. I actually don't want to. Because I hope that they stop what they're doing. Because it's not healthy.
They're not.
It's not healthy.
You
It's
think
okay.
there's but I have seen them
Yeah.
reduce or at least
Yeah. Well,
limit it in this environment.
they redirect their hate to someone else. So they got their fill of this hating this person because there's no more ammo for them. They've already said the same thing 5,000 times, so now they're going to direct hate on someone else.
Nova,
And
do y'all have that what's it called? That baking show where ordinary people get in the kitchen and they have to compete against each other. They have that black lady that hosts it. What's it called? It's on the
is
tip
it
of my mind. Do y'all have that in England? And you should go on that. You would be perfect.
Cake Wars? They had that show on A&E called Cake Wars, where like they would have like competitions to make these big elaborate cakes.
What's it called? Oh fuck. It's gonna bug me if I don't find it. It's like ordinary people like me that can't cook. Nicole Byer. Okay, what is she? Nailed it. It's called Nailed It. And
Mm,
it's people that go in the kitchen and they have to bake these cakes or stuff, and
yeah.
it like none of them have baking skills. So it's people that can't cook that are competing with each other, and whoever comes up with the best cake, and they get judged. They have like a panel of judges, and it's real cute. But that sounds like something that you would be good at.
Yeah.
I think
It's
they
kind
have
of
it on
like
Netflix. It's cute. It's if you need like something fun to watch for like 20 minutes or so, it's their little short episodes.
yeah. They have those two with Gordon Ramsay and uh, Lydia Anastanich's son. She's a famous Italian
Oh.
chef, and then another guy, and they'll have normal people. God, what is it called? It's Gordon Ramsay's show,
Does
but
Gordon
they'll
yell at him? Like, does he expect
have,
normal people
they
to
don't
cook to
yell.
his
No,
standards?
because they're not. That's not that kind of show. It's not like the Hell's Kitchen kind of thing. It's just where like normal people, like this guy could
W-
be a roofer, or this person
Well,
could be
why
a
have
stay-at-home
Gordon
mom.
then?
Because it's the three judges, and these are normal, average people that are told to cook something, and then they present it to the chefs, and then they rate it. They give it a rating, good or bad, or stuff like that.
That's so.
But it's like it's a whole bunch of different shows. But this is just like normal Joes, normal women, normal guys with regular jobs that come in and they have to cook this elaborate dish, and then some of the best chefs in the world, which is like standing in front of like gods in the cooking industry, are going to judge your meal. So that'd be very nervous. Standing in front of Gordon Ramsay, man, that'd be like standing
I'd
in
be
front of
like,
Elvis.
bring it on. I'm ready to fight with you, dude. Bring just one word is all it's gonna take from
Yeah,
you. Bring it on, Gordon.
yeah. He's intimidating. He really is. In the cooking world, he's very intimidating. He has
I
the
used
most
to watch
Michelin.
Hell's Kitchen. I watched the
Yeah,
first couple of Hell's Kitchens.
Yeah. But the precision and the art that goes into that, making those dishes, it's phenomenal. I mean, it really is. It's not just making a hamburger in a
Oh
pan.
yeah, cooking is
Yeah.
definitely an art. I mean,
Yeah.
even
I heard
yeah.
Moose Tom. I heard Moose Tom is to open a food truck, possibly. That's cool, man. That's really cool. We have them here. We have a bunch of them here because we have at the oceanfront we have breweries, and like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, the only thing open is a food truck sitting outside. You know.
Oh right, for the drunk crowd. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
drunk
And the
crowd.
food is good. It's good food.
What's up, Walhart?
Hey, man.
Hello, how's it going? Oh, sorry.
Oh, all
Good
right.
time.
I'll put you on mute.
Yeah. But people stumble into the food truck, but they make a killing. They make really good money. If you have a good food truck, you can really clean up on a food truck. Yep. A lot of maintenance, a lot of long hours, but I mean, hey, you can do well. you know, they got a lot of them in New York City too. Like you go outside New York City, they have the carts and they have the food trucks. It's like a whole way of life.
Yeah, they're popular in Seattle now too.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah.
can get different cuisines from different cultures real easily. So
Yeah.
like you could start a Cajun food truck or a Southern
Mhm.
food truck without a lot of. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a restaurant to bring that cuisine to Seattle.
Mhm. The most popular ones that I've seen, like in this area, are usually the taco trucks. Like they make the tacos and the fajitas and stuff like that. Those are always really popular. But like you said, Jeff, they have all different kinds. They have Indian ones, they have West African ones, they have the Spanish carts. They make the Puerto Rican food. Um,
Mm.
there's a Puerto Rican a food truck at the oceanfront. It's roast pork, rice and beans, plantains. I mean, it's just really, really good food. Real good food. Hey, Proby, why don't you come up and talk instead of sitting there
Yeah,
chirping?
Pro, you never come up. Tell us what your
Yeah,
favorite
it's
movie is.
yeah, Proby, come on up. Come on up. Proby's from
Since you like
Australia.
drama so much, let's talk
Yeah,
about
he's from
dramas.
Australia.
Happy Community Day. You're
Yeah,
doing a great job.
happy community, Proby. Chirping in the bushes like a coward that you are. Come on up and talk.
See, this is gaslighting when you provoke someone and then tell them to
Come
calm down. That's what
on up.
abusers. That's
Come on
abuser
up.
tactics.
Come on up, Proby. Come on, mate. Come up, mate. But anyway, yeah. Another one of my fans. He's a fan. He's a fanboy. Proby, you're a fanboy. Why don't you come up and talk to your
Yeah,
master? Come on.
there's definitely there's some kind of little sadomasochistic psychodynamic going on that I see as a budding capitalist and
Yeah.
entrepreneur. I see a lot of potential in
You
if
see,
somebody wanted to come along and exploit.
yeah. People like Proby make hundreds of videos about me, talk about me
They can
everywhere
make
they
hundreds of
go.
dollars.
Even when I'm not even there, they talk about me. So Proby,
Ooh,
the bottom line is
honestly,
this.
I've been in the panelverse for a while, and I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like it. Like
Yeah.
Talcott's as close as it comes.
Yeah. And so the thing, people like Proby, I own them. I'm on their mind 24/7. So just come up and hail to your master Mike. Just do it. Come on up. I'm just
You
poking
you,
fun stuff.
you do
I'm
have
just,
them mastered. Like you're
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
mastering their psyche somehow.
that's it. And I've toned it down. I used to attack them back all the time, and they'd get flurried. Like I would attack them back, and they'd run like that minute and make a video. It's like it's like
Yeah.
okay, owned you again. It's all right. But yeah, I guess the guy's wild heart. Have you talked to him before? I think I've seen that avatar before.
Yeah, Walhart hangs
Yeah.
out here. He's from
Is he an
he's one
Irish
of the
guy?
yeah Britlings, one of
Yeah,
those
Scottish, Irish,
island yeah
one of those things. He's a ginger, so he must be
Angloids.
some kind of white guy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Growing up in New York, right? The Italians and the Irish are very, very close because they're both very much like working class, blue collar. A lot of the construction jobs, the dock jobs, stuff like that. So I grew up with a lot of Irish people, and they are so funny, man. They really are. They're
Are
crazy.
you Irish, Walhart, or British?
No, English.
English.
English?
Yeah. And I'm not a true ginger. My hair's actually brown. It's just the beard what's ginger. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not a full ginger. You know what I mean?
So what do you, Wildheart? You live in England. So you're
Yeah.
okay. Do you see a lot of stuff going on that you didn't see before? Because they're talking a lot about migrants and migration. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure what part you live in. But have you seen a lot of influx of that?
Not personally. It's been on the news a lot. It's
Yeah.
certain towns, and it's like people coming across on boats, like illegal immigrants. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I've not seen it personally where
Okay.
I live. But yeah,
Because if you live in like kind of out in like the burbs, you know, like you're out away from like the major cities, I think a lot of times in migration they go to big cities, you know, for trying to get jobs and stuff like that.
yeah. I live not in Manchester, the main city, but it's like Greater Manchester. You know, like the area. So yeah, it's a
So
small town. It's a small town, but it's close to
yeah.
Manchester. Yeah.
So are you a big football fan?
Not a big football fan, but I do support the best football team in the world, Manchester United. Yeah.
They're one of the most popular, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've been to a soccer match before, but it was college. But I've never been to a professional soccer match. I know it can get hairy in there. I know that you'll see in movies like after the game, people like scrapping in the parking lot. Like they take that real serious.
Excuse me.
Well, you're good, man.
Yeah, it used to be a lot worse. There's a lot less of that now. There's virtually none of that. Yeah, it's all become like commercial and like family friendly and all that. That was mainly like the 70s and 80s.
Mhm.
There were like people getting stabbed and that after games and but there's not a lot of that now.
Over a game, it's like, come on, and that's like that.
Yeah.
It's like that in American football. So in American football, people get into fights at games all the time, and it's dangerous because they'll get into a fight like in the stands and they're high up and someone can fall and roll and it's There's tons of videos on YouTube of people scrapping in games. I don't know.
Yeah, it's it's like tribalism. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the amount of the amount they hate each other, like especially in Scotland as well, like the Glasgow Derby, like Rangers and Celtic.
Sure.
Some of that is due to religion as well, Protestants versus Catholics. But the amount they hate each other is amazing. Yeah,
that's always been a real hot topic. The Protestants versus the Catholics. That's always been since like the beginning of the two living together. And that's the whole Irish versus the British, right? That's that kind of the Protestants and because Irish. Well, there are Catholic Irish too, but I think there's a lot of Protestant Irish, right? That's I don't know a lot of people. I'm trying to.
Especially like Northern Ireland, like the IRA, like setting off bombs and a lot of terrorism. Like,
I know a lot about the Catholic Church. I was baptized Catholic, and then I consider myself more Christian than Catholic, even though it's somewhat the same thing.
Catholics are Christians.
Catholics are Christians.
The biggest
conversation before.
I said this before. This is what I said, and this is what makes me kind of question a little bit of Catholicism. Is I don't believe in confession. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you can go out and do whatever you want to do and simply sit behind a shade, and some old virgin guy is going to say, "You know what? Don't worry about it."
Yeah, but that's Catholics don't believe that either. That's
Roman Catholics
caricature.
They go to confession, man. And then it's absolved. I don't think it works that way. I think you have to work your way back from your sins that you commit. But like I said,
they give you a penitent. You do work.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know how many rosaries you've said in your life, especially on your knees. Yeah. But there is an amount of work that goes into that.
It's having to take the wafer and drink the blood of Christ, and it's just like it's almost like it's like a show.
Keep it up with all those beads.
Yeah.
And the different sizes and what prayer you got to say when. It's complex.
It's a lot of work. It's not for Jeff. It's
calculus.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are people that are die hard, and that's how the Jewish religion is too. You have Orthodox, you have non-Orthodox, so even though it's the same religion, so to speak, some take it way further than others, with intensity. But I don't knock anybody for what they believe in,
You also have a lot of atheist Jews as well. Like over 50% of Jews in Israel are actually atheists. They don't believe in God. It's like Yeah, it's like
I think,
a culture
Secular
thing as well.
Jews,
yeah,
Yeah,
the godless
just
Jews, Yahwehless.
as I got when I was younger, it was all about either you're Catholic or you're wrong. That I mean that's how the mentality that's kind of
From
taught
the
to you
Catholic Church was teaching you this?
from everyone around you, from all the other Catholics around you. It's like
yeah,
They
Catholic or
never
nothing.
taught, because we had
Yeah,
Baptists
yeah,
also in our town, and everyone got along. We were never taught, like, oh, those Baptist people that you go to school with are
yeah.
wrong.
Every Italian friend of mine, every single one, even
Oh,
a lot of
y'all
the
were
Irish.
Italian Catholic.
Yeah, Roman Catholic.
Maybe
Yep.
that's because we were French Catholic, and
Yeah.
you're Irish Catholic, Walhart,
no Roman Catholic. Yeah,
Roman Catholic. They don't
Yeah.
have
I
rules.
never believed in God, but I went to two Roman Catholic schools,
Oh,
so I was
okay.
brought up that way. But
And
I never.
and I was baptized. So I don't know in the church, big ceremony. So I don't know if that makes me always Catholic. I don't I don't know how all that works. So
Yeah, they don't like giving people up. Once you become Catholic, it's very hard. Like I heard one person actually wrote to the Catholic Church
sure.
to try to get them off the books, like, and they just refused and said, "No, no, we're not letting you go. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have a choice about it." About it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on. But yeah, religion's an interesting conversation piece, and it's fascinating. It really is. What makes someone believe one thing and what makes someone believe another thing. And do you gentlemen think it's because of life, things that happen in your life guide you towards certain ideologies? Your life
Yeah,
experiences guide you towards,
I
well, I
think
believe,
you're born into one, but then
mm,
from there
yeah,
you can be
yeah.
guided. Your experiences can
it's,
lead
it's
you
like
to
with
others.
me, sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I have a lag. So I hate that. I have a couple second lag. So,
Oh no,
um,
you're fine.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
fine.
but the one
Mini
thing I do know that,
chocolates.
yeah.
Sorry, not Laz's distract. Go ahead. It's not worth it.
No, that's okay. The one thing that I know is true for me is that I know God is always watching. Whether I make a mistake or do something good, He's always watching me.
Does that
That's
comfort you, or does it make you paranoid?
Yeah,
it.
that's a little
Doesn't
bit.
it
So
doesn't make me paranoid. It makes me second guess a bad decision. You sometimes you still make it, but at least you're thinking
Yeah,
about,
we've seen them.
yeah,
yeah, should I do it? Should I not do it? But after the bad decision, I apologize to God and I try to not do it again. I try, but we're only human, right? We're going to keep on messing up until we finally figure out,
Well,
stop doing that.
here's what, like, an atheist, it would work almost the same way. They would make the bad decision, and they would realize it's a bad, and they would like regret making it or apologize to the person or themselves for making it. And it would
yeah.
work the same way, just without this extra God concept watching the whole thing.
Which I think is more moral, because like religious people will do something wrong, then ask forgiveness from their God, whereas like you say, an atheist will do something wrong, then apologize to the actual person that you did wrong to, which I think is more moral in a way. It's, it's like you punch someone in the face and then apologize to Jesus for it. How
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
that work? That doesn't help the person you punched.
Yeah, it's
You know?
more manly to
Yeah,
apologize. Apologizing to Jesus is the pussy move.
Mhm.
yeah,
Go apologize to the person you hurt,
yeah.
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
Jesus. What's he going to do? Bring
Oh,
peace or come with a
yeah.
sword?
The father, the father and the son, it's a really interesting paradigm. You have the spiteful, and people will even say, and God is a jealous God. God gets angry. You know, he gets pissed at you. And then the whole paradigm of Jesus is Jesus forgives everybody, gave his life
Yeah,
for us.
it's not
And
consistent.
yeah, it doesn't even get
Even
never,
to children, I could see where it would be very confusing. The different
yeah,
versions of God, their
yeah,
relation to Jesus, and even the different versions of Jesus.
yeah. It's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like God is your very strict father. He's your super strict father, and then Jesus is like your best friend that you always have a great time with. In other words, there's never a conflict, there's never an argument.
Yeah,
You know,
Jesus is like somebody you could smoke weed with,
yeah.
and they wouldn't say anything.
Hippie Jesus.
I won't tell Dad. Don't worry about it.
He,
He's watching all this anyway. What the fuck?
he did wear a robe. He did wear a robe and sandals. So, and he had long hair. So, I mean, he He looked like a stoner to me. I'm probably going to burn for that comment, but it's all good. Yeah. Imagine Jesus walking around like in a suit and a tie. Just, hey, guys.
Check with Fatty, freak. Check with our Liliana, perhaps. They're both ordained. Something.
Don't you have
Are you having trouble?
When it comes to exorcism, I think he has to be there because he has to lay hands on the person, I believe.
And they have because Andrew Wilson was watching the Crucible one day. They have this guy, these internet videos on YouTube where it's in person, it's a church, but there's a preacher that does exorcisms. And you can watch the people come up from the crowd and go in front of him, and he exorcises the demons out of them.
Although it is worrying, they often get being demonically possessed mixed up with mental illness.
Yes.
So, you know, that can be...
As someone who struggles with both, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But you have to admit, guys, there have been some recorded exorcisms that was way more than mental illness. This person's speaking Latin, they're speaking backwards, they know things about the priest and his family without ever meeting them. So I don't know if it's some cases are mental illness mixed in with maybe a dark force inside them, feeding them information. I think I think someone that is possessed is just a human being used as a vessel for something evil to speak through them. Does that make sense?
Or for deep evolutionary instincts from within.
Then you have fallen angels. You have the whole thing of fallen angels, and are angels on earth right now walking among us? There's so many different theories that if you wrap your mind around it, your head will explode. You know, so you don't know what to think of it.
Many exploded heads around here.
One thing that I do love to research is the pyramids. I don't know if you guys ever got into the pyramids.
Is this where we get to the aliens?
Yeah.
No. How
there's no alien nowhere in this story are aliens.
No, you can go into it, but I mean.
They always say, how did they move such massive bricks? They have massive whips. Is the explanation for that?
Yeah.
A lot of slaves and massive
whips. I watched the 10 Commandments a little bit last night, and
the Heston.
Yes. Yep. Charlton Heston. And it shows them building the pyramids with the pulleys and with the clay, and they would pull them along. So there is some validity to men made them, but how they stacked them and how they cut them. The theory is they didn't have those precise tools back then. So how did they cut them in those certain ways? It's not a fact of moving them. It's a fact that how they get them up there and how did they cut them that way. So. It's interesting, really, really interesting. And then you have the hidden civilizations that they're finding. They think they may have found Atlantis. They think that they are finding things in the Amazon that were never known about. So in other words, there were civilizations here way more than we thought there are. And like
people are
Jeff,
so hungry to believe something other than reality.
And Jeff, you said that there's something in Louisiana, right, where it's older than
the LSU mounds. These two hills of dirt on the LSU campus are like, they're older than the Great Pyramids. They're like a couple of thousand years old, 2,500 years old, maybe 4,000 something.
Yep.
They're one of the oldest. They're the oldest in North America, and they're one of the oldest man-made structures in history.
Let me ask you this, Jeff, or even Walhart, have you ever seen like dinosaur bones in a museum?
I've been to the Smithsonian.
So do you think something like that were just roaming the earth freely?
Where'd they get the bones from?
Exactly. Are they real or are they fake? Or I don't know.
You don't think scientists can tell if bones are real?
I just think it is so wild that these beasts just roam freely. I wonder if they were only in certain areas, and where did they go? Was it the Ice Age? Was it a meteor? It's just stuff that you think.
The most popular thing is a meteor, yeah. And the dust kind of blotted out the sun for a couple of years, so everything big died, basically. It
would very much be like a large, as they would say, what would they call that? An earth-killing asteroid? What they call it, something else, or meteor. But
people are manufacturing giant bones. There's like a factory underground somewhere where they're churning out
Plus, we know they dig
gigantic
them up.
fake bones that fool scientists.
That's what archaeologists do. Yeah, we know they dig them up from the ground, so they're not like man-made or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
We know that's where they
And
get them from.
to get
They
back to what you were
really
saying
don't
about
want there to be bones, do
to
they?
get back what you were saying, you're right. They said that a lot of times a meteor would hit, and you said all the sediment would go up and it block the sun out. All the vegetation would die, which
Yeah.
means all the animals would die. So, yeah.
No,
It's
no,
like the soot of the volcano, right? All the soot covers the sky and blacks the sun out. Yep.
yeah,
Everything just
not all the vegetation though, but most of it. So all the larger animals would die because there wouldn't be enough. But the smaller, like like squirrels and that, they'd have enough to survive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's evolution, right? But it looks like we're heading towards that way again soon here. We might wipe ourselves out again here coming up. So, the way the world's going, we got to
You think
got to
so?
get together.
Okay,
It's
are
just there's
these
so
the
much.
blocks? These look pretty big.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Wow.
massive.
Yeah, man. So many cool things to research and think about and read about. It's like there's so much information out there, and then you get into the sea, the massive amounts of deep down into the sea that we haven't even
Yeah,
explored yet. You know,
yeah. It's
Oh,
like
like under the
50
ocean?
thousands of species we don't even know about it.
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. You know, but Mother Nature is something else. This planet we're on, it's just it's so unique. And I'm wondering if we were the guinea pig planet, for everything that we have. But looking at other planets, they look bombed out and depleted. Like Mars is uninhabitable, the moon. But they look out. Didn't they say a little while back that they think possibly there's water on a planet? It's way, way out, but there could possibly be life on it because there's water on it.
I know they think they've detected water on some of the moons as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think it.
I don't know
Yeah,
much about outer space. I don't know much about it.
yeah. There's like an ice moon as well, but they think underneath the ice is like liquid water.
Yeah.
I think it's Jupiter. The moons of
Yeah,
Jupiter.
I will not lies. Look, all that learning paid off.
Yeah.
Look at the knowledge you reached.
Yeah. It's good to talk about it, It's good to talk about it. See what everybody thinks. But
What was
yeah,
the
anyway,
question? Are we still
yeah.
in the dinosaurs?
No. I just
No, life on other planets.
Oh Lord. Y- t- It doesn't seem odd to me that it all emerged from some natural process, like the Big Bang, the universe, the galaxy, Earth, and then the chemicals on Earth, and eventually life, etc. That
Mhm.
it's just all part of an emergent process.
I mean, we found all the basic building blocks of life on like meteors. They're fairly common, and they can they join together naturally.
Yeah.
So there's only like
Yeah,
one
it
or two.
doesn't take, like, they seem to think it takes the intervention of a being
Yeah.
to take, and to me it doesn't. Things evolve to higher stages all the time in nature without
Yeah.
the intervention of an agent.
Plus, if you think how many like galaxies there are, like we've only seen like a tiny fraction of them.
Yeah.
There's probably billions and billions of like Earth-like planets that could support life. We've not found one that actually does, but the chances are, there'll
Yeah.
probably be lots of them.
Yeah. I just think it's fascinating. Evolution is just fascinating. How do we get here? Where do we come from? Just
We,
information.
Yeah.
There was more. There was more that came out about the Trump shooter from the other
oh,
day. It's not all clear yet. Exactly.
he was some like crazy. He had incidents before. Like he's a figure
Yeah.
that kept showing up. He's probably mentally ill and either on his own somehow or being used like manipulate like maybe he's a figure that other people or groups saw
Yeah.
that they could, but either way he was
So he's possibly coerced into it, allegedly. Possibly. It could be a
or
possibility.
radicalized just
Yeah.
passively through propaganda and media consumption. Who knows? But he seemed to be heavily involved in
Mhm.
social media and politics.
I just don't know how he got so close. He was right there in the bushes and
That's what I
things.
like. The security around Trump is not
Yeah.
inspiring confidence in me.
Because
If
in
I were Trump, I
SKS,
would I would just quit going places for a little while.
yes. Well, they were saying that he may start having to be like uh, in more secluded areas. Like but he
Get him a
likes when he's
Pope mobile,
right. Remember the Pope
a
mobile? He'd
Pope
stand
golf
up and
cart.
wave, and he was the plexiglasses all around him. I remember that. Yeah. But an SKS, that's a pretty heavy bullet. If it's a 7.62, that's a big bullet. And if you get hit with one of those kind of bullets, you're done. I mean, you're gone. Right in the
Let's
right
see if
spot.
there's any updates.
Yeah.
Ryan Ruth, I think his name is,
Yeah, Ruth.
or
But to have a
Ralph.
but to have a scope on it, there's no way you can dispute that he wasn't trying to take somebody out. It wasn't like some dude walking in the park with a gun on his back, because you have those people that do open carry. You see them like walking around with a rifle on their back or something like that. But to be mounted with a scope pointing it in his direction, yeah. And he has.
Apparently, he was a convicted felon that was not supposed to have the firearm in the first place. So they're charging him with possession of a firearm at least,
Yeah.
and
Also,
with an obliterated serial number.
Oh,
is, it,
tampering.
is this a different shooter than the one that got shot? Have they found someone else?
Hmm.
This is the one from yesterday.
Now,
Oh,
I saw a theory.
Ryan Ruth.
I was watching another channel. Now, remember the first attempt, they unalived him. Secret Service unalived the kid. Well, he wasn't a kid; he was a grown up. But I mean, they unalived him. Secret Service, the counter sniper team, took him out. But this guy, they got alive. And and someone else was saying that the only reason they got this guy alive is because local law enforcement caught him, not the government.
And he was really into Ukraine. Like he wanted to go volunteer to fight in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
You had a bunch of those around here. There's something called Balahak Airsoft, and it's a bunch of guys that always want to be soldiers, and they do the airsoft out there, like in the woods and stuff, and there's swamps out there, and there's a bunch of those guys. They were like online going, "Yeah, we're going to go to Ukraine and we're going to fight." Like, all right, whatever, man. See you later. I ain't going over there to fight for a war hasn't to do with me. But
Hey, Vinny.
The US government is paying for the war.
yeah. Hey, Mr. B, come on up, man. You like to chirp in the background? Come on, buddy. He's been on panel with me one time before. I scared him off. He ran off panel. He came up.
Who,
on panel.
Vinny?
Yeah, he ran off panel.
I thought y'all were cool. He's one of the Italians. Y'all were all hanging out. What are you talking about?
Mr. B?
Oh, I thought you meant Vinny.
No, Vinny's cool. Vinny's cool.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah,
B.
Mr. B, come up. Does B stand for Mr. Little Bitch? No, I'm just kidding. But you're welcome to come up.
No, Vinny's solid, man. Vinny's solid. Vinny's probably in his backyard right now watching the Diaz.
The deals.
The Diaz.
The deals.
Hey, come over here. You look delicious. Get over here. Oh, I know you wear antlers, Jeff, but have you ever had venison? Have you ate deer before?
I've probably had it growing up. My family hunts deer, but
Mm-hmm.
and we had a neighbor that used to make deer jerky, and he used to give us some of that.
Nice.
Tastes like beef jerky.
Mm-hmm. As long as you brine it right. And thing is that, with even wild boar, like people will hunt wild boar, but you have to kind of clean it and you have to brine it a little bit because it'll taste like real gamey. But,
Yeah, I don't
if
like
you
that
notice-
game meat taste.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled for chicken, cow, a little bit of pig, lamb.
Well, I know
Lamb's
that,
good. I like lamb.
I think they still
Veal,
have the problem with it. Don't they have a problem with the nutria down in New Orleans? The
I
big
think we
huge-
eat. I've never had nutria, but I think
Yeah.
they eat nutria.
Yeah,
What
they
is
shoot.
it? I've never heard of
It's
that.
it's a rat, but it's like
It's
a
a
beaver.
muskrat. It's a big
Yeah,
rodent.
yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And they shoot them. They actually, what is it, Jefferson Parish? Jefferson Parish goes out with the squads, and because the nutria burrow under people's homes that live on the canals, and their docks will fall, and then they'll have cave-ins.
These
Yeah,
things.
they're
Yeah.
pests,
Oh,
but they burrow. They burrow under the levees. They burrow under the levees and stuff, and they cause a lot of havoc in New Orleans.
they look like beavers.
They're like beaver
Yeah.
rats. They're like
Yeah.
little beaver rats because they have like a rat tail, but they have the mouth
Like a
a
muskrat kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Muskrat. Muskrat
Yeah,
salad.
they do like gnawing through wood. So
Yeah.
that might be a problem on the docks.
And I know in Florida, is it Florida? That they have the iguana problem, the big iguana problem, where
I'm
they
thinking
capture
it
the
almost
iguana.
has to be Florida.
Yeah.
If it, let's see, iguana in Florida.
Iguana hunting. Put iguana hunting Florida. There's teams of people and they shoot them and they collect them and then they get paid for it from the counties.
Invasive
There's actual
iguanas
iguana
spotted
hunters.
in Central Florida. Army of giant lizards falling from the sky and invading homes.
Yeah.
Florida is grappling with an invasive horde of green iguanas. A
Yeah.
plague of iguanas in
They're out there
Florida.
popping them. Yeah.
So I'm guessing they must have been, because iguanas aren't native to America, are they? Are they like pets that
Iguanas Iguanas are from Mexico, right? That's the largest population of iguanas. I think they come from the Mexico area and the desert. Yeah. Probably in Nevada, Mexico, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I know that they're real ornery. They're real mean. They'll attack people's pets. They'll burrow under the houses. They'll go into people's basements because they burrow. They'll crawl. They'll dig
Southern
under
Mexico to central Brazil.
Yeah.
So a lot of South America.
Some of them are beautiful. Some of them have all the different colors on them. If you look at pictures of them, some of them are beautiful. They're like rainbow colored sometimes.
Are the iguanas the one that can change the colour? Like
That would
camouflage?
be no, that's a chameleon, right?
Chameleon, yeah. Yeah.
Let Mike talk. Hey, listen, I'll stop. Justin, come on up. Come on up. The price
Come on
is
up.
Come on up.
There's a
Yeah.
$2 drama credit, by the way, that Liliana has in the bank.
I'll find somebody
Y'all
for 2
control
minutes.
for.
No
I
problem.
forgot the time limit, but like for $2,
Yeah.
y'all could go for 5 minutes or so.
Yeah. Oh
Hey, twat waffles.
no.
Oh, that's a great name.
Look. See that picture?
Good
Go back.
afternoon to you too.
You see the picture? You see the picture of my face blown up? My
Oh,
nose
that's
is like,
you. All right, I'll wait for Liliana.
It's another Proby sock account. It's funny as shit.
Oh.
Because he doesn't like Joey Waffles. He hates Joey Waffles. It's another content.
So there's
creator.
actually less people obsessed with it. It's like a few people, but they have multiple accounts, so
Yeah.
it makes it look like a horde.
It's a small handful, and then they have all these different. It's the same person though. It's pathetic.
All the way
It's
from
really
Australia.
pathetic.
What is it about? What you really have an effect on Australians?
No, man, I don't know.
I thought they
Well,
were
I do-
resilient,
I do
rugged,
know.
healthy
I do know that-
boundaries. Why are they so
I do-
obsessed with?
I do
these
know the
American
connection.
losers.
I do know the connection, and it's one person, and that person does frequent, so I'm going to leave it there. We'll just leave it there,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't have to worry about Australians. They're all either criminals or the descendants of criminals. I'm only joking, Australians. That was a joke.
Well, that is history. I mean, it was a penal colony, but a lot of people from Great Britain did assimilate there as well. So, and built the country up to what it is now.
The prison officers, basically.
Yeah, a lot of British. And then you had the Aboriginals, and then there's also who also went there, migrated there. There was a lot of people would migrate to Australia because Australia was this amazing paradise that was untouched, really.
There's a lot of like Chinese and Asian people
Yes, yes, and then they help.
Greece. Yeah,
I think
And the
Filipino.
gays, the
I think
gays ended up there
Filipino. Yeah,
somehow. They have the big Mardi Gras in Sydney.
a lot of the guys. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm. Liliana's here, so the $2 credit is inactive.
yeah.
Is active. $2 troll credit. Come up and troll Mike or get trolled. Hey, Kane. Good morning to you.
Hold on 1 second.
So what have you been up to, Jeff?
Greatness. Huh?
What's going on?
Not much. I'm trying to get people to come up and troll me. You can't even pay people to troll Mike anymore these
Yeah.
days. That's quite a shift.
Yeah, you think they do it for free, to be fair.
Free free trolling. He said he would. He's getting already trolled a lot in the comments, more than $2 worth, but it's
Right, well, it's been fun, but I do have to go out. So,
Wildheart, it's been a
thanks a
pleasure.
lot.
Hope we
Yeah.
see you again. Take care.
Cheers, Mike, if you're still here, and everyone inside chat.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a
Thanks
great
a lot.
day. Have a great week.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right. Well, we might end on a cliffhanger then. I might leave you in suspense. Will
Oh,
the trolling
sorry,
happen?
sorry. The coffee
Won't
was
it
calling.
happen?
Coffee was calling. I gotta go buy some coffee, bro. I went through a whole bag of coffee in like 2 days.
Damn,
Like a,
like a little. What are the little bag? The
yeah, like a medium-sized bag. Yep. And
Dang, that is a lot of coffee.
yeah, it was a lot of coffee. Oh, you know what? I take it back. It was 3 days. 3 days, my bad. Because it
I
would
need
have
to
been
cut down. Like get
it would
some
been 3 days. Yeah.
tea or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
But
Jeff,
winter's coming up, and that's gonna make me want to drink coffee even more. Like on the cold days
if I
with a
drink
hot cup of coffee.
if I drink tea, I have one tea that I love. It's called lemon zinger. It's like a
Yeah.
lemon.
Oh, I love the zingers. Red
Lemon zinger.
zinger, lemon zinger,
Then
and
they
some
make
other. Is there a wild zinger?
there's an apple cinnamon one. That's pretty good. Um, but the lemon is the best. The lemon zinger, lemon tea. And I know a lot of people will drink mint tea. Mint, like the mint tea, if you have like the
Yeah. I get that in restaurants sometimes. It helps digest. It's like a helps your stomach
yeah,
digest. That mint
yeah,
soothes.
yeah, good. I tried growing mint, but I kept growing the chocolate mint, so it has like a darker flavor.
Oh, I love the chocolate. We had
Yeah.
some neighbors with mint growing up, and every time I was at their
Mhm.
house, I would take some mint leaves out of their garden. I love
Yeah,
chewing on the mint.
mint is good. Minty. Mint is really good.
Yeah,
It's
it
good for you.
is.
You know, it's heart healthy and good for like you said, digestion. Good for
Is that the
digestion.
Starbucks tea that fuck, what's it called? Tazo.
Yeah. Tazo. Yeah, the Tazo teas. I heard you talking about. Those are more like the black currant teas, like the real heavy, dark teas. You got to get the seep. You know, you put them in there and you put the metal in there and you squeeze it through. People get crazy with that tea, man. People got tea game. You know.
Yeah, teas. They had a whole tea shop up here in
Yeah.
Seattle it had all the loose teas, and you could
Yeah.
buy different mixes and flavors. It was an
Mhm.
entire tea operation. It's cool.
The most tea I've ever seen people drink is when a lot of the people I grew up with that were like Muslim religion, they drink a lot of tea. Russians and the
And
Middle
British
Easterns,
people.
yeah, Russians and Middle Eastern, they love tea. They're always drinking tea. Um, yeah, it's good for you. Really good for you.
We made the chocolate. It was like in a big pot on the stove,
Mhm.
and you'd scoop it out with a ladle, and then we had the little marshmallows you could put in your cup
Yeah,
on top of the chocolate.
yeah,
And it was the Hershey, the good chocolate. They had like the little Swiss Miss packs that you can
yeah.
make individually, but nothing was better than the Hershey's chocolate, the unsweetened, like the tin of Hershey's powder, and you make the chocolate with that, and then you sweeten it. Nothing was better than that hot chocolate. No, it's a type of tea too at Starbucks. It was a tea line, and Starbucks bought them, and now they're like the Starbucks line. Yeah, that. Sponsored by exactly cacao.
dude. The
Oh my God, I
chocolate.
can smell it. I know that smell. I already know what it's gonna smell like. And they had strawberry
Woo!
quick too, which was nasty.
This is 100% Keiko. Like you get like the really expensive chocolate bars. They're usually like 70%. So they're bitter. But this is
My mom used to
100%
have that baker's chocolate. It was like pure chocolate, and I would eat it as a kid, and I got so high off of it one day. I learned to leave it
yeah.
alone.
This is so good. This is so good, Jeff. I love making hot chocolate with the. Oh man, I put a little bit of sugar, just a little bit of sugar, but I like it more bitter. I
Me
like it
too.
more
I
of a
like it
bitter.
more chocolatey. Yeah,
Yeah.
and warm and chocolatey,
And people would make and it's for baking, for cooking. People
and
will
it
make
gets that
cakes.
crust
Yeah.
on it, that font,
People
that
will make cakes and they'll
skin.
take the cake and they'll put it on top of the cake, and you could taste that bitter with the sweetness of the cake with the bitterness of the chocolate. Yeah. So
And they had the Hershey's syrup you could squirt in the bottle, and it was so gross. I hated that squirt chocolate.
yeah.
It didn't taste like chocolate at all. It tasted like chemicals.
Yeah. Yeah. It's too sweet. It's too
It
sweet.
was, and
You
it
know?
wasn't like sugar sweet. It was like a fake
Yeah.
sweetness.
So it's kind of like in a way you're kind of like me where I like not so much like bitter or sour, but I like a dessert that's not going to taste like I'm just eating cups of sugar. I want to,
I
you
don't
know,
like sugar.
yeah.
I have a weakness for bread pudding, a soft spot. I
Mm,
like to try different types of bread pudding, but outside of that, I don't
yeah.
really have a strong taste for sugar.
Well, one thing that was a real favorite in my household growing up was rice pudding. We used to love rice pudding. Um, my
We didn't
mom would
have
make.
that, but they had the instant pudding, which your parents would make all the time. But they
Yeah.
had the cook version,
Mhm.
and nobody made the cook version because it was a pain in the ass. But the neighbor
Yeah.
next door would make the cook version, and she'd come over the fence, and she had extra, and she'd serve us cooked pudding, and it was the best stuff ever. Oh my God, I would eat some cooked pudding right now if I had it.
It's good stuff. Yeah. My mom would do the rice, boil the rice, drain it, put all the, all the creams in there, the vanilla, the custard. Oh my God, man. Good stuff,
Wow.
man. And then you always got to have the cinnamon on top. You got to put the cinnamon on top. Mm. And then people would eat them with raisins. I didn't like raisins in it.
Oh, yeah.
Not a big raisin guy, but
Me
yeah.
either.
But it brings you back to your childhood, right? That now you're thinking about a childhood memory that was awesome, you know. So,
And we used to make a Mississippi mud cake, and
hmm.
I would help my mom spread the. It was made with that like white marshmallow cream that
You
you
talking
get in a
about
jar, and
fluff?
yeah, that fluff. You'd mix it with
Yeah,
chocolate. You'd bake it in a pan,
yeah.
and then you'd have to
That's cool.
get it off the spoon.
Yeah, it was always a treat, you know.
Oh,
And it's
I don't know, Liliana. That's up to Mike, but there is that $2 credit.
I really don't have anything to
But didn't
argue
y'all
about.
try to chat the other day, and he wasn't even really sure who you were? Like
Yeah, it's not
y'all don't
really.
have
Yeah,
drama between you other than from
we
the
don't have a
community.
history or anything. We don't have any kind of history or anything. So it's just
See, it's
really nothing more.
manufactured drama, inorganic.
Make stuff up. Yeah, but yeah, it's all good. But yeah, man. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna make some lunch, something, probably something frozen.
Probably something frozen, yes.
Gotta get
That's
something
the
to,
safest for everybody.
dude. You gotta get something to cook for you, man. Come on, man. Gotta eat something well balanced once in a while. I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
do once in a while.
gonna get some cold cuts. I might just do something simple like tuna sandwich or something like that.
You know what I get? It's really easy. I get fresh spinach sometimes, just the fresh spinach leaves, and you can throw them in anything, and they
Yeah,
have so much nutrients
yeah.
in them. So sometimes I'll just garnish with fresh spinach
Why
and
not?
get a little extra
Why
kick.
not? My son, he got into like because he was doing the gym pretty hard. He was losing weight. He got into the salads, like the Cobb salads and stuff like that. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
they would put spinach on it and stuff like that. But yeah, he would, put hard boiled egg on there. Just be healthy. A little bit of diced chicken. But yeah, it's good to have a lot of vegetables and greens. We eat a lot of greens in this house, a lot.
Yeah, I love a good salad. There's so much you could
Yeah,
do with a salad.
yeah. Right on, man. Oh, I'm actually getting hungry now talking about it. I didn't have any
Well, you
breakfast
want
this
to
morning.
take a lunch break and
Yeah, yeah.
go eat, and
I
I
don't
can
have to
come
go out
back
till
later.
later. I have to go out later on, but I can definitely come back. What are you going to take a couple hours off? What do you think? 'Cause I
Yeah,
got to run
probably
around.
get some
Okay.
lunch. Today's my shaving day. I gotta go
Yeah.
shave and clean up.
Yeah.
But I'll be on
I
later
usually
today.
I usually shave when it gets a little bit more, but I mean, right now it's
But you
manageable. But
you carry a good shadow.
yeah,
Mine gets scruffy. I have that.
yeah.
You
The
have
only
that
problem I have
Italian
is I got
body
the I got
part.
the I got the. It's funny because a lot of my friends have the same exact thing. We like to grow beards, not big beards, but it's like we have the gray right here. It's like the two little
Yeah,
gray spots
I
right
like that
here.
look. That salt and pepper.
Yeah, but I have no gray. Yeah, I have no gray on the head. It's just right here, it's right in the goatee. But yeah, man, just get something to eat. I'm gonna get something to eat. I think I'm gonna make a tuna fish sandwich. I love tuna fish. Love it. A little lettuce and tomato. I usually do it on the I have the whole wheat bread. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah,
But
I like that grain bread.
all right, Jeff, I'm gonna take my cocoa and I'm going home, my friend.
All right,
All
it's
right,
fun
I'll
hanging
talk to you
out.
later. All right,
Yep, we'll
man.
do it again.
See you later.
All right, well, that seemed like a pretty good couple of hours for morning coffee, and I don't know, Liliana. It seems like there's just not any drama between the two of you. You'll have to work extra hard on your trolls to get some drama going. Maybe I did too good of a job managing the drama here. Now we can't get it started up, but we need to. Which I'd rather have that problem than the opposite one, honestly. Um, all right. Well, I'm gonna run and go do some shit and eat. Do Monday, my little Monday ritual. Yep. Well, I guess it can get used on someone else too. I mean, y'all control me if you want, and or some other. There will be no shortage of panelists to troll, I'm sure. So we'll see what happens later today. Um, See, so ugly, just ugly, ugly people. Why y'all have such ugly ways? All right, um, I'm gone. See, I'm stuck. I can't break away from the Panoverse. Why can't I just click the button? All right, everybody. Bye. I'll see you later. Let's make this short and sweet. All right.